Hello everyone, I'm Neyah and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the only thing that you must do to improve your life. I am sure many of you that clicked on this video, actually I am sure that all of you are on a spiritual conscious path to whether it is enlightenment or simply to improve their lives and to manifest the reality that they want to experience, that you want to experience. But still, working with so many people and talking daily with my clients, I see that everybody still struggles to manifest or in general to improve their own condition. Well, all of this is rooted into resistance. Now, resistance is a word that has been spread in the spiritual community like candies, like Kundalini awakening. But when it comes down to actually ask people, what is resistance? Nobody can tell. So rather than learning and parroting down this spiritual terminology, let's talk about resistance and let's talk about what it actually means and what is the only thing that you must do to improve your life and that therefore will lead you to the manifestation that you want to experience. Resistance is everything that you do feel that it's against your own self. In other words, every time that you're trying to push yourself to be, feel, or act in a different way that it's incoherent with your present experience, you're coming from a state of resistance. Resistance is a blockage of energy. Let me explain it to you in a nutshell. Everything in existence is consciousness. Everything in existence, because its consciousness has vibration, has energy. You as a human being, your higher self as an unlimited being and non-physical being, and everything around you that has matter and not matter, that it's physical and non-physical. So knowing that, a state of resistance, which is a state of blockage of the present experience, it's a blockage in energy. And when energy is blocked, it needs to go somewhere else or it gets delayed. I mean, try to imagine a wall and try to imagine energy in this wall. It's gonna bounce back. It's gonna bounce back until probably it's gonna find other ways around or up or above or below to going on about this wall, but still it will come with a lot of resistance and with a lot of blockage and with a lot of delays. Now, this is happening to you every time that you're pushing yourself to come from a different standing point from your actual present moment. What do I mean by that? Very simple. If you wake up in the morning and you are one of these people that, okay, let's do affirmation, and you start to affirmate, not because in essence there is anything wrong in doing affirmation, but I'm going to calm down why they don't work in the totality. Because you're pushing yourself to feel something that you're not feeling in the present moment. Therefore, you are not in the present moment when you're projecting any outcomes in the future. Or your body, it's simply going on with the memory that has accumulated from the past. And when we're talking about memory, it's not simply the memory that you have from this incarnation, and neither I'm talking about past life, but it's your genetic memory that it's ruling also your body unconsciously. So it's very important not to come from the state of resistance. So therefore, every time that you're using affirmation, you are affirming something that it's not in the present moment, and that creates energetical blockage. Another thing is listening to subliminals or working with sounds. Even though working with sounds works, sounds and vibration have an effect to our unconscious mind, and surely they have an effect. But if you come from a state of resistance and you are just bypassing how you feel, you will not be prepared to chant those mantras. You will not be prepared to listen to those subliminals, because there is a difference between you being conscious of what you're listening to and allowing those sounds to come in the present moment and influence your existence, and do it in a completely unconscious way coming from a place of resistance. It's gonna catch up in a way or another, because again, it's like that energy going around a wall that is still there. The reality of the story, as a conscious being, you want to destroy the wall. You want to be free of any resistance. So you are not constantly pushing yourself to be positive. You're not constantly pushing yourself to feel or project something that it's not already in the present moment, but you are experiencing your fullest potential in the present moment. And this is valid whether you believe in past life or not, whatever is your belief system, because actually this works regardless of your belief system, which is why I think this grounded method is the most important and is what you must do to improve your life. Now that we know what resistance is, what do we do with that? Well, it's very easily, once you wake up in the morning, instead of resisting how you feel, go deep down into that energy. Now, what the majority of the time happens to all of us is that we even develop even more resistance to that, because in our present energy, that could be pain, that could be something that we are in fear of, or simply, even if we are not depressed or in pain, it could be that we really don't know who we are, and that place is scary, because not knowing who we are is a leap of faith at the end of the day. And many of us prefer to identify with something, anything, rather than staying in that stillness of not knowing who they are. And it's totally understandable, but then again, that creates resistance. But if you want to become a conscious being, that it's free, and I'm not saying free from desire, I'm going to get to that point in a second, but simply free to create the reality that you truly want to experience. Allow yourself to feel whatever way you feel, and feel it to the core of that emotion. Why am I saying this? Many people in the spiritual path, and not even in the spiritual path, forget their mortality. What do I mean by that? I'm probably going to do another video about death and going deeper into this topic, but we are mortal beings. That's why I was mentioning past life. It doesn't really matter what religion you come from. It doesn't really matter if you believe in hell, heaven, or rather in past life. The reality of this present moment is that your existence, my existence as Neyah, it's here in the now. And it doesn't matter who I have been in a past life. This existence as myself, as this being that I am in, as an incarnation, is mortal, and it's gonna end. It's gonna be of a limited time. And therefore, I'm also conscious that because I have a body, I have a limited energy. Now, many of us in the spiritual path are very aware that our soul, our totality as a being, as a non-physical being, obviously is unlimited. But we forget that as a body, we do have limited energy, just like a battery. I mean, have you ever studied all day and then feeling like you were spacing out somewhere else because you were drained, even if you weren't doing anything physical? Or instead, if you were working all day, you were probably realizing how tired you were physically. And that's because each and every day, we have a limited amount of energy. And this life, this incarnation is mortal. We have to be aware of our mortality. When we understand this, our resistance drops because we are aware of our potentiality. And when we become aware of how we feel, we are not scared anymore to use our energy. Every time that you come from a place of resistance, which again means you're trying to feel different from the way you're feeling now, you are using and wasting your energy to a big amount. Because again, it takes a lot of energy to live in the present moment. It takes a lot of energy to visualize. It takes a lot of energy to feel completely an emotion. But it takes the double amount of energy to resist those emotions. Since we understand that we have limited energy, I want you today to analyze yourself. And this is only going to be a story unless you try it. So try it for yourself and then see if it works for you. Try to see how you truly feel. Even though you might become from a total place of apathy, it doesn't matter. I'm not judging, and don't judge how you feel. Come from a standing point of observation and feel it within all your being. Use all your energy of that day to feel however you are feeling. Probably, however you are feeling, whether it comes from happiness, sadness, pain, desperation, desire, it doesn't matter. But once you're going to feel this at the core, you're going to be less resistant and less scared of that emotion. And it will come a point where your brain, because this is how we are as a human species, will come to this question, why I feel how I feel. Ask yourself why. And then after you ask yourself why, is it because of external condition? Could be. Can you change your external reality in the now? Maybe not. But can you change the way you feel in the present moment? Or actually, can you allow yourself to feel how you feel in the present moment and then searching for the most uplifting thoughts, feelings, action in the present moment? Of course you can. And you will realize that you can never change your external reality, but you can only change and feel how you feel within. When you ask yourself why you're feeling in a certain way, you get connected to that point of stillness and you connect with your own inner guiding system and your own being. When you know why you're feeling in a certain way, you become solution-oriented to the possibility that you can develop with your limited energy each and every day. How do you want to engage your energy? Why you're using that energy? Why you're thinking those thoughts? Consciousness and awareness is your greatest gift and is the least state of resistance. When you become clear about why you are feeling a certain way, you also become clear on why you want to have certain experience. And here it comes my last topic about desire for this video. The human species is a species of belonging, is a species that is rooted in desire. Otherwise, we will be like other beings. When our stomach is empty or we are going to find food and then we're going to feel in peace because we are sorted just with food. We're going to be only in survival mode. But because we are creators, unconsciously or consciously, we are full of longing and desires. And that's why our soul decides to incarnate in this experience, because our souls wants to create in the physical and not only in the non-physical, because it's a different experience. I have been in state in meditation and so on of pure bliss, a pure non-physical dimension or non-physical perspective. Yes, it's true. It's a place of total bliss where you don't have any desire. But what happens is that when you come back to this body consciously and you live a life where you don't have desire, on one hand, you're very free. Sure, you are liberated from your human perspective. But then on the other hand, you have a choice in front of you, which is either you go to a mountain and you just space out in samadhi and in total bliss, or you decide to take that awareness to the next step and create the reality that you really want to experience. Of course, in state of enlightenment, you are going to create a reality that is uplifting. You're going to create a reality where it's not ruled necessarily by the desires, but you allow the desires to be, and you're eager to experience your creation in this incarnation. But regardless of this, stop resisting your desires, because it doesn't matter if you arrive to enlightenment or not. What it matters is that you do have desires and they are okay to be there. So again, this comes down to the only thing that you must do to improve your life. It's living in a state of allowance. Allowance for your desires, allowance to feel eager to experience your desires, to know that you're able to fulfill them, and to also to connect to your awareness. And your awareness is always rooted in the present moment, is always rooted in how you feel. And also it's rooted in the awareness of why you want to experience certain things. Because the majority of the time we think that we are conscious, but have you ever asked yourself, why do I want money? Because this is something that all of us we want. Let's be honest here. Why do you want money? Why do you want validation? Why do you want appreciation? Why do you want beauty? Why do you want fame? And maybe through asking yourself why and not resisting how you feel in the present moment, you will allow yourself not to judge the thing that you want first, and then knowing exactly why you want them. And when you know exactly why you want them, you will be able to be solution oriented. You will be able to get them and to know a practical way to manifest it, that it's rooted in action and not only visualization. I'm gonna give you a practical example so we get even more clear and grounded. The other day I was talking with a friend of mine that I've been knowing for 15 years. This woman is highly conscious. She's a person that does yoga. She's a conscious being. She's very aware about the way that she feels, and she certainly doesn't cultivate much of resistance, but still she's on a path like all of us. So we were talking and she wasn't satisfied about her job or a pattern that keeps repeating in her life. And even though she's so conscious, she couldn't understand why the pattern was still repeating. And I am a person that likes to listen and observe a lot how people move and react and their energy and their vibration. So I let her speak, because she needed to do that. She really needed to complain in that moment. I wasn't condescending towards the complaint. I wasn't feeding that energy, but I was listening to it. I was there, I was present. So when she released all that frustration, I just asked her, but how do you feel now that you have said that? And she said, I don't know how I feel anymore. I just know that I'm not happy. And I said, well, let's do like this. Why don't you just live your totality of the day being not happy? Just do it. Rather than seeking all the possible way to reconnect with your soul or reconnect to this or reconnect to that, just feel miserable all day. Use your energy to feel miserable. She was quite surprised that I have said that, but she did it. And at the end of the day, because it's exhausting to feel in a certain emotion all day and canalize that energy only for one specific thought, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of energy. Only by the end of the day, she said, I know what to do. Her brain automatically created pathways and made a decision because she felt miserable all day and she wasn't resisting that emotion. When she was like, okay, let's go for it. By the end of the day, she had a solution for her problems. And now she's feeling better, and every day her messages are becoming more uplifting. But if she's not pushing herself to feel better, it's coming automatically, because this is how we are. We cannot stay in certain emotion fully, completely for more than one day or two. Unless we keep going back and forth. I'm depressed, I'm not depressed. I'm depressed, I'm not depressed. I'm sad, I'm not sad. When we juggle around emotion, we are able to sustain those emotions for years or even a lifetimes. But when we decide and commit to feel at the core without resistance and with all our energy a particular emotion, it's gonna fade in a way or another, and we are going to create a new emotion. We're going to create a new desire that it's going to scale up and make us feel better, because we are creators, and creators constantly create. Whether you are creating something that you judge as negative or you're creating something that you judge as positive, but everything, it's always a creation. So this for me is the thing that you must do to improve your life. Stop cultivating your resistance, but allow yourself to feel how the heck you want to feel and see the difference in your own reality. Become aware and become conscious, and I promise that you're going to live and improve your life. Have a nice week.